Hey guys, welcome back to the Texas Living channel. My name is Chase Bradley.
I'm Veronica Bradley.
And today we're going to take a look at two beautiful Texas cities and compare them. Corpus Christi, Texas and New Braunfels, Texas. Both Corpus Christi and New Braunfels are well known for their water recreation, with New Braunfels being one of the best places to tube in Texas and Corpus Christi being the sparkling city by the sea. They both stand out on their own, but is life better on the river in New Braunfels or enjoying the salt life of Corpus Christi?
Okay, so let's start off with the population of Corpus Christi. So they have around 300,000 people in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yeah, and New Braunfels is right around 91,000 people.
But both of these numbers are based off of 2020 census data. And we can tell you that New Braunfels has more than 100,000 people. We live in New Braunfels and we know it's been growing.
Yeah, that's for sure. But on the other hand, Corpus Christi is actually seeing a decline in their overall population. But things are getting better and we could see a turnaround. So even from when we used to live in Corpus Christi, things have changed massively.
Yeah, that was about almost 17 years ago.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the attractions and things, just general things that people like doing whenever they're in these areas. So first, New Braunfels. New Braunfels, like we said, well known for their rivers. We have the Comal River and the Guadalupe River, both excellent rivers to go tubing on, fishing, kayaking. There's also a great German heritage here that can be seen all over the town, from famous events like Wurstfest and Wasselfest, and one of our favorite places to go, Schlitterbahn.
Corpus Christi is known as the sparkling city by the sea, but I like to reference Corpus Christi as a little big city.
Yeah, definitely. So as the sparkling city by the sea, there's tons of water recreation to do there as well. Whether it's boating, saltwater fishing, which is my favorite kind of fishing.
It is his favorite.
There's tons of water recreation things to do there.
So outside of water recreation, you have the USS Lexington, which is something we always like to go look at. I learn something new every time. You have the Texas State Aquarium, which in my opinion is one of the best aquariums in Texas. We've actually been to the one in San Antonio, and I feel like Corpus rates higher than San Antonio. So check them out if you're ever in the area. We also have the famous Selena Museum and Monument.
So let's talk about the culture. What are things like when you're in these two cities? So New Braunfels has a very, very strong German heritage. It can be seen all over, from business names, restaurant names, street names. Even New Braunfels itself means brown rock in German. So very heavy German influence all throughout.
And forewarning, it's New Braunfels, not New Braunfels. Locals, or even if you're not a local, people will look at you weird if you add an extra S in New Braunfels.
And it happens all the time.
I still tell my parents to not say that, and they still say Braunfels. And I'm like, it drives me nuts. And Corpus Christi has a strong Spanish heritage. The area known as Corpus Christi was discovered by Spanish explorer Alonso Álvarez de Pineda and named the area Corpus Christi, which means body of Christ in Latin. The Spanish heritage deeply influences the city's music, art, and food, and has a unique blending of coastal and Hispanic heritage.
Okay, so let's talk about jobs or potential employment in these two cities. While both of these cities are very heavily reliant on their water recreation, you can only imagine that hospitality, hotels, different things like that, are going to be one of the top employers in these areas. There are also some other employers that have a very high presence. Let's talk about Corpus Christi first. Corpus Christi's main employer is actually the military, with the Naval Air Station Corpus Christi and the Corpus Christi Army Depot ranking in at number 1 with the most employed people. Additionally, after that, education comes in a close second, with all of the Corpus Christi ISD and Texas A&M Corpus Christi helping education be a close second in terms of overall employees, and the one that I'm sure a lot of y'all were thinking, petroleum jobs. So jobs that deal with oil, refineries, different other kind of jobs that kind of revolve around that is actually third in Corpus Christi.
New Braunfels, on the other hand, has a growing healthcare industry and is home to Christius Santa Rosa Hospital and Resolute Health Hospital. But both cities offer ample job opportunities for all residents.
All right, so traffic. Traffic is a huge thing for some people. If you're moving from a place where there's a lot of traffic, you don't want to move to another place where there's going to be a ton of traffic. And Corpus Christi may be the place for you there. While there's always going to be some peak times, peak seasons like the summer or spring break, where the roads can get a little bit congested. I really feel like Corpus Christi has it way better in terms of overall traffic and congestion compared to New Braunfels. One of the main reasons being you've got really that main highway is SPID that runs right through the heart of Corpus Christi. You've also got Crosstown Expressway, which will take you to the Bayfront and all the way past onto Portland and places like that. Another thing that really helps out Corpus Christi is it's laid out like a grid. So if one area is seeing some very high congestion, then you're able to catch it before you run into it. You could bypass, maybe skip a street or two and then take the next exit.
On the other hand, New Braunfels can be pretty congested due to all the popular attractions that this great city has to offer. And it's year-round because we have great weather.
Things can get really congested here, but there are some fixes in place. It's just a matter of time. You gotta wait and be patient.
It does take time, and I just want to throw something in here because we just came from a trip from Corpus Christi, and like I mentioned before, we lived there years ago. Potholes are still horrendous in Corpus Christi, Texas. New Braunfels, they have two school districts. You have New Braunfels Independent School District and the Comal Independent School District, and they are both rated top school districts in Texas.
And Corpus Christi has the Corpus Christi ISD and the Flower Bluff ISD if you're really talking about Corpus Christi proper. Outside of Corpus Christi, there is a ton of other school districts though.
West Oso, Bears, Toloso, Midway, Cal Allen. There's so many districts.
Most cities have higher education options, while New Braunfels, you're very close to Texas Lutheran University in Seguin and Texas State University and San Marcos. While in Corpus Christi, you can go to Texas A&M Corpus Christi or the local community college, Del Mar.
So finally, let's talk about the cost of living in each city and compare that. So we're in real estate. I do find the real estate prices in Corpus Christi to be, I wouldn't say better, but more favorable on getting some real estate property there. Obviously, if you're closer to water in any city or town, you're going to pay more for that piece of property. But, we've been looking at a couple investment properties over there versus San Antonio, New Braunfels because of, I would say, the affordability of what you can get.
So even renting is less expensive in Corpus Christi than it is in New Braunfels, right? So in Corpus Christi, average rent is right around $1,500 a month. Whereas in New Braunfels, it's right around $1,900 a month. It was a $400 difference. It could be pretty substantial, That could be like a month's worth of groceries.
Yeah, and that's average. So obviously, I feel like, in my opinion, in New Braunfels, the $1,900, yes, it's average, but we're going to put a listing on the market in the next week or so, and I think they're starting off at $2,600. So, of course, it depends on the size of the home.
Corpus Christi, the average price there is sitting at $224,000, which is crazy because you're not seeing that in a lot of other places throughout Texas in general. Whereas New Braunfels, on the other hand, you're looking at over $360,000 as the average price for a single family home. Both of these numbers we pulled as of April 2024.
So regardless, if you are deciding if you want to rent, or maybe you're juggling pre-owned versus new construction, both areas are great places to choose from.
In conclusion, both Corpus Christi and New Braunfels are great cities to live, work, play, and visit. While New Braunfels is a smaller city, it is right in the middle of two huge cities that aren't too far of a drive to get to. Corpus Christi offers a more laid-back lifestyle with the lower cost of living, but you might find yourself on an island, literally and figuratively, when looking for places to work or things to do. Both cities have strong communities, rich history, and diverse economies, making them great places to call home. So there it is, guys. If you liked watching this video and you want to see more of this kind of style of video, we actually did another video where we talked about Seguin and New Braunfels. We're working on some more for, cities around this area. So definitely make sure you stay tuned for those if you like this style of video. Additionally, if you feel like we missed anything, definitely let us know down in the comments below. If we don't see you in the comments below, we will see y'all guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.